Hello and thank you for joining us on Newsweek, where we highlight some of the biggest stories that made the headlines recently. I am Mark Otabo. Coalition adopts ADC as the new political party, picks David Mark as national interim chairman. Also, PDP factions close ranks, affirm Anyanwu as national secretary. And later on the show, Federal High Court fines Natasha 5 million naira for contempt. Orders her to make public apology to Senate. All the details in a moment. Stay with us. Welcome back. Earlier in the week, a significant development in Nigeria's political landscape, a coalition of several political actors has officially adopted the African Democratic Congress, ADC, as its new platform. The coalition announced that former Senate President David Mark will serve as the national interim chairman of the party. Now, speaking at the unveiling ceremony, the national interim chairman, Senator David Mark, emphasized the coalition's commitment to fostering unity among opposition parties and providing Nigerians with a credible alternative to the ruling government. The move comes as political actors prepare for the forthcoming 2027 general elections. Of course, right here with me in the studio, I've got a very formidable, ferocious political analyst, Dr. Ojiko Tuadeni. Good to have you on the show this evening.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming on. And of course, our very beloved friend has been away for a while. It's good to have you back.
Yeah, it's my pleasure to join
Justice Ojeno.
It's my pleasure to join you.
The most sought after legal luminary.
Thank you.
All right, Justice, let's get down to business very quickly. I would take it on with you first. Justice, quickly, what does this coalition's adoption of the ADC mean for the broader political landscape and, of course, in the country? And why do you think they decided to hop on the ADC platform instead of actually forming a new party?
Okay, I feel that maybe the major reason why they couldn't form a new party was because of potential stumbling blocks they might have perceived or be on their way to be able to realize that ambition in good time. So that was why probably they couldn't register any other political party, whether it's ADA or whatever other acronym or nomenclature that might have come with that. But having said that, with respect to the fact that they joined the ADC, right, I feel that one of the major things that would have precipitated it was because they thought to themselves that there is no way on God's green earth any splintered one of them would have been able to maybe unseat the president or the APC. That's why they thought it pragmatic or advantageous for them to explore that part. But as to whether it's going to be viable or not is what is seriously in doubt, given the fact that first, PDP is closing ranks.
Right.
That's number one. Number two is a lot of them are probably doing it half-heartedly because a lot of them have not fully resigned from the other platforms that they are coming from. But Mark, if you watch my history, I'm always for APC having a run for its money. I want there to be opposition. Okay, I want there to be viable opposition.
You've always emphasized that.
Because if the APC is coasting home and having a field day, there will be nothing to put it on its toes to be able to serve a Nigerian like me. I'm a client, I'm a customer, I'm a jealous customer. I will never ever support a monopoly. Okay. So I pray for them to be able to get their acts together and give the APC a run for its money. All
right. Now, Dr. Ojiko, to quickly, let's take a look at some of the reforms that the current administration is riding on. We're looking at, the fact that they've scaled up dry season farming, improving access to fertilizers, and of course, seedlings to local farmers, thereby boosting growth. We hear that staples like rice, maize, cassava is beginning to drop right now. And let's also look at the transportation, the CNG that was adopted to cut down transportation costs. Let's not leave out the subsidy that the trillions of naira being realized every year to actually pump it back into infrastructure, education, and the likes. But right now, these guys are coming together to say they are coming to rescue Nigeria. I mean, what is your rhetoric when you hear, those kind of words? Rescue Nigeria from what exactly?
There is what is called political message strategy theory.
Okay.
You can call it message strategy theory,
right,
or political message strategy theory. And it's surrounded by what is called eyes. The eyes has a circle and a triangle within. One of the circle, or inside the circle, the triangle inside it, 1, 2, 3. Now, what it says is that the ICE, which is eyes, is the incumbent, the contender, and the electorate. Now, when you look at this, at the center of that circle, there is what is called the ideal message. And that ideal message is the story, the selling point that you are coming on board with. So the only thing I've heard is the issue of hunger. And I think the APC realized that. They just did, they just imported some tractors for plowing of lands and farms and all that. And some of these things, fertilizer, seedlings and all that. Now, the message is very important.
Right.
Because when you want to pull people politically, you must have something that will connect them. The most important part of democracy, or the most important set of people are the electorate.
Right.
Now, the message you want to sell must be important. There is a clause. I congratulate all the people that are part of the ADC as coming on board to challenge the APC. Because what the Nigerian people want and what I want is the dividends of democracy to an ordinary Nigerian.
Right.
No, to this end, that message now, one of the people in the coalition, threw a NASA, and he said, okay, he's hungry, Nigerians are hungry, fine. But when he now said, even him, as a former governor, as that's watered down that message. So now, going forward, they should, the APC too, and you know the point, funniest thing, the people that took power from PDP, that knew how they did it, the Rotimi Amishi of this world, the Rauf Aregbesola, they were together with the incumbent president.
Okay.
So they understand some of those things.
Okay.
Because they were probably coming from the same political faculty.
Okay.
However,
so what you're saying now
message,
is they already have an idea of the roadmap on how they're going to go about it. Is that what you're saying?
No, what I'm saying is that the message they want to sell, because when they are saying they want to provide a solution, Nigerians will be like, you people were probably part of some of these problems. So how they are going to navigate that message for them to have sellability and acceptability
remains to be seen.
Remains to be seen.
Okay.
However, the APC should know that it's not Ururu. They can never underestimate
anybody,
the voting public or the coalition.
Okay.
What the people want is results and performance. And that is where I stand.
All right, while you have established that, just as quickly, some critics have argued that David Mark, as the national interim chairman of this coalition-backed ADC, represents old politics, right? Do you think this undermines the coalition's push for change?
Okay, for me, I think that not just that, of course, to an extent, David Mark, if we have to go ad hominem now, I think that he has squandered some of his political capital. And I say that against the backdrop of the fact that, yes, he was a Senate president for 8 years, and that is very, very commendable. It shows that he has some political capital there. He has always been in power. Of course, it was said that he was part of all the coups that have happened, especially towards the latter part of military rule in Nigeria.
Right.
But how do we explain away the fact that his own daughter is a legislator under the APC in a place or in a senatorial district where he is supposed to be the leader? So it puts a serious snag on his credibility to be able to say is a very, very strong political stalwart.
Okay.
But again, let's see how it eventually plays out. Maybe, of course, he is a more experienced politician than I am, and he may be able to pull out some rabbit out of the caps.
All right, Dr. Ojukwu, so quickly. Now, we understand that when the president was coming on board, he made it very clear that it was not going to be easy after all, because, of course, money had to be recouped, and there was a lot of leakages here and there. They had to actually do what they had to do to put money in the coffers and get the economy back on track. Now, is it safe to say that the president is being judged based on his genius because of his track record? Because right now, it is looking surprising that of all the presidents that have been there, his scorecard in just 2 years is coming under heavy criticism. I mean, why do you think that is going on right now? Because of course, the people already see that quite a number of things have been done. At least there have been shake-up in the NNPCL lately, which happened to be a department where people never felt there was going to be any shake-up. It happened under his administration, and quite a number of other things that he's been putting together. So, I mean, why is it that 2 years on his scorecard, this criticism is just flying here and there? Just 2 years.
You see, when you have a political power, the same way you're feeling is the same way every other person too is, because what that democracy gives you is that equality
right.
and development of an egalitarian society whereby everybody will have equal opportunity to aspire to any position,
okay,
as long as you are qualified. So to that regards, the president understands the duty and the job that he has to deliver on those things, and the ingenuity, skills
right.
people perceive him to have in terms of knowledge and results and performance.
Right.
Now, he has a track record of, having laid foundation in Lagos. Lagos has developed. Lagos is improving in IGR and others, and in development. So therefore, that was a selling point. Now, people now say, you don't develop Lagos, come and develop Nigeria. Now, for the president, what do the people need? He has done well in terms of economy, in terms of paying the loans and structuring Nigerian economy.
Even the IMF hailed the reforms recently.
I read it,
3-4%.
and that was a very positive one for the government. To this regard, what the president should do is that they should have a progressive governors and progressive stakeholders meeting,
okay,
whereby the ministers, the DGs, and the appointees of the federal government should all be present,
okay,
and they should understand the policy direction in terms of everybody.
Okay,
you must deliver. Give them ultimatum so that it is the dividends, which is the result,
that will be visible enough for people to see.
That will be visible. Because the opposition never underestimates them.
Okay.
Number one, let me give you figures. 8.9 million was the vote PDP had. 6.9 million was what Atiku Abubakar got under PDP. 6.1 was what Peter Obi got under Labour Party. Some of these blocks are still going to be with them. If you add these two figures together, is more than 8.7 million that the president got.
Okay.
So to this regards, nobody should say that there is no challenge.
All right.
This challenge is commendable. That is why we are in democracy.
All right.
What they should do as an incumbent is that they should make sure that the hunger that have been, people have said hunger and all that, what has caused it is the cost of food. It's not as if we are not producing. Enough. Whether there should be silos, whether the government should have a buy-over, then sell to the people when these products or the crops are going off season, so that people can afford those, staple food. If hunger goes away from the problem of people, the problem reduces.
All right.
So to this end, I think they still have time to work,
to recoup and gather,
and
all right,
make the people benefit from.
Thank you very much, Dr. Ojikoto. Well, we'll go on a quick break right now, and of course, Newsweek continues in a moment. Stay with us.